Hey guys, I'm Annie Watkins, and today I wanted to share my story of why I became a fitness coach. So, I have a 4-year-old son. He was born in May 26th of 2010, and in July of 2012, I took the leap and became a Beachbody coach. But in order for you to really understand a little bit more about my story, I think I need to take you a little bit back before that. All my life, I was very healthy and fit for the most part. I mean, I come from a family that my father was a weightlifting coach in Europe. He trained Olympic athletes. He was very active. We were always very active. Long story short, during my pregnancy, I was very active. I did Zumba. I went to the Y with my husband every day, 3 hours sometimes a day. I've always been an active person. There was periods in my life where I had kind of fallen off track, but for the most part, I've always loved fitness and health, and it's been something that kind of like flowed through my veins. And so I knew when I got pregnant that I was going to stay active, and I did, but I wasn't prepared for these crazy cravings that like took over my body and mind, and I like had to have Jimmy John's every day, and I had to have these amazing decadent almond horns from this like amazing Swiss bakery that's like right around the corner from my house, and I had to have it. Like my life depended on it. So even though I worked out, I gained a lot of weight, like 70 pounds worth of weight. And I ended up with a C-section, and I ended up with postpartum depression, and I was in denial about it. I had 3 months off with my son after he was born, and 3 months after that, I went back to work. I was a full-time social worker in mental health, and I struggled. I struggled with guilt. I struggled with feeling like, how in the world can I be away from this little being that I love so much, um, and still find a way to get back to me? So guess what went to the wayside? My fitness. Before I had him, I was like, all right. I was telling my husband, I'm like, as soon as we have our son, we're going to totally go back to the Y, and we're going to put him in that little daycare, and we're going to work out. And once I had him, and after I went back to work, it was so hard because I was like, how can I get myself to put him in another daycare after I'm gone from him all day? So I couldn't do it. So what ended up happening is I ended up just not doing anything. And then a year into, postpartum, I was finding that I just wasn't myself. I was anxious. I was worried. I was feeling just tired. Um, and I went to my doctor, and he diagnosed me with postpartum depression. And I basically realized that I wasn't myself. And I had gained an additional 15 to 20 pounds. So I was carrying an 80 pounds worth of postpartum weight that I couldn't get rid of. And I remember looking in the mirror and thinking, who is this person? I'm this mom that wants to have energy, that wants to instill confidence in her son, that wants to be the best mom I could be. Yet I don't even like what I see anymore. Who am I? And I was stuck. And I got to a point where I just became complacent, something I had never been. And my son was 2 years old in July of 2012 when I remember praying for an answer. And I knew that I couldn't go back to the gym because I just would have too much guilt. And I remember praying to God, saying, I need an answer. I need something. And the answer came in somebody offering me a packet of Shakeology, and suggesting that I try Chalene Extreme at home. And both of those things were complete, like, anti what I would normally do, because one, I didn't like shakes because I had tried different types of shakes, and two, I did not work out at home. I had all these programs that I didn't even like pick up. They collected dust. But I thought, okay, I prayed for an answer. Maybe this is the answer. So I started Shakeology. I started working out at home. And a few months into that, I was asked to do coaching. And so I signed up as a coach for the discount because I was like, who in the world am I going to inspire? Look at me. Have you looked at me? Like, the thought of coaching was a joke as far as me inspiring anybody else. And so I just did it for the discount because I kind of liked Shakeology, and I was kind of knowledgeable on those awesome ingredients that were in it. I was like, all right, this stuff is legit. I'm like, what can I find wrong with it? Nothing. but it's expensive, so I might as well like get an awesome discount. So that's why I did it. July 2012. And as I started feeling different, as my depression lifted, as I started to see results, little baby steps, not big leaps, but baby steps, I started believing that I could work out at home and I could see a difference and I could have the best of both worlds, not be away from my son and still get fit and still get back to me. And I started feeling the veil of sadness lift from my face, from my, you know, aura, if you will. I started believing more in this coaching thing. And I remember being plugged into this challenge group and this amazing community of people who supported me. And I'm like, who are these weirdos that are like supporting me? They don't even know me. What is their like, what is their angle? Because I was such a skeptic. And I realized that there was no angle, that they were just being kind and they were just supporting me. And I just remember after I started seeing my clothes fit better, after I started feeling more energy, when I was going up the stairs and chasing my son around and feeling like I could laugh again and I could have that joy again that I always hoped I'd have again, I remember telling God, I will pay this forward. I will do something good for someone else. And I said, if I could help somebody else be better and give hope to another mom, another woman, another person who maybe has lost hope, who maybe feels like there's no way out of their current circumstances, I will do that. So I put it in front of God and I said, use me, let me be a beacon of hope to someone else. And so that is the day that I decided that I'm going to put the good, the bad, the ugly of just me out there, my before picture, my during, my journey, and that I would just be me. The rolls, the muffin tops, whatever. Because I was tired of pretending that I was happy and I wanted to just be me and authentic and real. And perhaps through that journey, through my struggle, perhaps maybe I would inspire someone else and give them hope in return. So, what has happened through coaching has been astounding. I quit a job that I was at for 10 years that I hated, a toxic job a year ago. I gave up my social work career this past January of 2014, and I decided to do something I never in my life thought I'd do, and that is be a stay-at-home mom and pursue Beachbody full-time. I closed the door on negative people and toxic people that used to bring me down, and I started living synergistically to the way I felt inside. I couldn't any longer be in a toxic situation, toxic workforce, be around toxic people, when here I was on this other side among these amazing positive people who were like telling me that everything that I wanted to do was possible, yet here I was on the side being sucked into this negativity, this toxic environment. So I gave up my career for a passion that I had in my soul, and that is coaching. I took a leap off that branch, believing that perhaps, just maybe, I could fly. And perhaps, just maybe, if I loved what I did enough, and if I woke up in the morning with that fire in my veins and that drive in my heart, and that prayer in my heart to touch others' lives and to help other people have hope, perhaps, just maybe, I would succeed at what I was doing. So here I am today, 4 months after quitting my job, after quitting my career, doing fitness full time. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I wake up with a passion. I'm passionate about what I do. And the future is bright. I've not just lost the 80 pounds, but I've gained so much more. Confidence, a spirit of thankfulness, a spirit of belief that anything is possible. That as long as you live your purpose and as long as you let God use you in this life and you're willing to just take a chance, on something a little bit bigger than yourself, that anything is possible. So that's my story. I'm an imperfect person in an imperfect world, trying to make a dent, trying to be a role model for my son, trying to be the best wife I could be, trying to be the best me I could be, so that when God and I sit face to face one day and he asks me, what have you done with your talents? What have you done with what I've given you? I could look at him in the face and say, I've used them all up. I've done everything with what you've given me. Are you proud of me? And that's why I'm a Beachbody coach. Thank you.